It's the book club for kids.
It's the book club for kids.
It's the Book Club for Kids podcast.
Hi, I'm Kitty Felde. Moving is hard, especially when you don't speak the language, you're being haunted by a witch, and your only friend is a rat. That's the setup for The Year I Flew Away.
It's not easy being a rat in New York City, but I'm working on something. I got dreams, big ones.
That's our celebrity reader, actor Barry Cutler. Our readers from Jefferson Academy in Washington, D.C. have a lot of questions for our writer, Marie Arnold.
This is a little off topic, but do you like Sonic or Mario better?
Okay, first of all, that is not a question because it is 100,000% Mario.
This is the Book Club for Kids, the show where kids talk about books. We'll tell you how you can be on the show a little later on, but first, let's meet our readers.
Hello, my name is Charlie.
Hello, my name is Dallas.
Hello, my name is Robera, and we're all sixth graders at Jefferson Middle School in Washington, D.C.
The Year I Flew Away is basically about a girl named Gabrielle and her moving to America, but it's very difficult because she gets bullied and changes in her life comes.
She is from Haiti.
And what's it like living in Haiti?
In Haiti, since it's farther south than D.C., it's a bit hotter there, and they're more like a town and not a city.
There's some upsides and some downsides. The upsides are like, for her, she thinks Haiti is like the best place in the world. And the downsides are they don't really have a lot of money for food and that sort of stuff. And prices are rising too at the market.
So she moves to America. What's it like being an immigrant to America?
It's very hard because she's different from other kids, and so it's very hard to fit in with the other kids because they don't really know what it's like to be into a different city or country. And so she's basically just trying to fit in.
She makes an unusual friend who is a rat. Tell me a little bit about Rocky.
Oh, Rocky is this rat who thinks he's a bunny and something, which is kind of weird that you think about it. And he basically helps Gabriella. And should I spoil it? Should I spoil that?
Maybe not, but give us a hint. So what does he do?
And how do I say this? Rocky doesn't want to be her friend anymore.
What's he like? I mean, I don't have a lot of rat friends, but...
Rocky is kind of like bossy because when the first time Gabriella met him, she accidentally stepped on his house and he made her fix it.
Rocky is sort of like friend but not friend sort of type.
Kind of like a frenemy?
Yeah. Maybe I would say Shadow from the Sonic the Hedgehog series, because they're both kind of the same. They don't like the main character, but they're sometimes teaming up.
Well, let's take a pause and meet that rat. Our celebrity reader is actor Barry Cutler.
I'm Rocky. Who are you? I'm Gabriel. Sorry I had to get rough, Gabriel. It's not easy being a rat in New York City, but I'm working on something. I got dreams, big ones. Really? What are your dreams, I ask. No, I'm not telling you. It's a secret. Okay, I reply as I add more layers of trash for the new roof. Okay, geez, you badgered me enough. I'll tell you. I'm gonna be a rabbit. A rabbit? Yeah, everybody loves those guys. Humans give them treats, let them live in their homes, and even pet them. No one has ever petted me. And let's face it, I'm adorable. But soon that will change. How will you do that, I ask? By thinking, moving, and existing as a rabbit. I'm almost there. Look. He stands in front of me, clears his throat, and gets down on all fours. He lowers his face and looks up at me as if he's a doe-eyed rabbit. He's not. He still looks like a rat. Yeah, that's very rabbit-like. I know it's wrong to lie, but I don't want to break his little rat heart. Thank you. There's no need to clap, he says. I'm not clapping. Oh, okay. I start to clap and he bows. Where you going at this time of night? He asks. I'm meeting someone. A witch? Yes. How did you know that? A witch's power is strongest at midnight. That's why humans call it the witching hour. So, which witch are you meeting? He starts to laugh uncontrollably. Get it? Which witch, he says, as he rolls on the ground with laughter. When he finally stops, he says, I'm sure you can tell I do some stand-up comedy on the side. Oh, yes, and you're very good. Thank you. Now, what's the name of the witch you are here to meet? He says, and takes a huge bite of his candy bar. Lady Lydia. Rocky spits out his food and almost chokes. You're going to see Lady Lydia? No! She's wicked, more wicked than all the other witches. She has something I need.
So in this book, Gabrielle meets Lady Lydia. Describe her.
Lady Lydia is she's the bad witch in this story. She tricks people because even though she looks nice, she's really very, very mean.
Lady Lydia is very sneaky, and she tries to get things her way, and sometimes she don't fully explain things to Gabrielle.
I would say she's the villain of the story because she's sneaky, she's devious.
So that's who Gabrielle comes to get wishes fulfilled. But as you mentioned, she didn't know the downside to it. Things get taken away from her. The thing I want to know is, what would you ask for and what would you be willing to give up? Gabrielle asks to fit in, and what does she lose?
She lost basically her being, like her life. Like she didn't understand her family's words because the witch basically just took her culture away from her and her language.
So what would you like and what would you be willing to give up? Gabriella didn't get a choice for what she got to give up.
I would wish for 1,000,000 more wishes without, no, scrap that, infinite more wishes without losing something. What I would be willing to give up is school.
You need your education.
I've already had my education to survive.
I would actually like a pet cat because cats are my favorite animals. And I would be willing to give up one of my favorite toys. It's a dog. Its name is Leroy. It's a black lab. It's kind of cat-sized.
But you'd rather have a cat.
Yes.
Probably having the freedom to do what I want. And what I would give up is going on roller coasters.
What I would be willing to give up is maybe give up like one Sonic game for my Nintendo Switch.
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
I like this book because it's mostly about her becoming brave and that she don't have to be someone else to be liked. She could be herself. And that you always have to have courage and you always have to believe in yourself.
So is that something that means something personally to you then?
Yes, because all my life, it's like hard to fit in, especially if you're moving from a different place. You just want to be connected with someone or have a friendship with someone because it's very hard to make friends with different people that you don't really know, and that you have to be careful with the friends that you have because they might not be real friends.
Have you guys grown up in Washington, D.C., or have you moved here from someplace else?
I am coming from Maryland. I just moved here to D.C.
I would say I'm sort of an immigrant. Well, technically I'm not because I was born here, but my parents are immigrants from here, so I would say technically I am, but not really.
Where did your parents come here from?
Both came from Ethiopia.
Have you ever thought about moving to someplace completely different? Because Maryland's not that different from Washington, D.C., but are there differences? Let me just start there. Are there differences that you've noticed between Maryland and D.C.?
They do have differences, but it's kind of like they don't because they're in the same part.
I would say Ethiopia is very different because it has less money, horrible economy, and I was pretty lucky because my mom's mom or my grandma was rich over there, so we can live in her mansion.
What if you moved to a different country where you didn't speak the language, where they didn't speak English, and things were different? Would you be as brave as our main character?
Yes, because I do like new things, and I think that would be fun. But if I get to choose where I moved, I would move to Prague because one of my friends from last year moved there, and I would like to see them again.
No, I will probably be shy the same way as she felt because it's kind of hard to fit in with a different language.
I like this book because it had a sense of acceptance, but also it had some fiction too, which draws the readers to it like me.
Yeah, there was fantasy in this book, so it was kind of an interesting combination of realism and fantasy. That worked for you?
Yeah, it works for me.
My favorite part about this book, though, is that it started like a nonfiction book, but then it gradually turned into like a fantasy fiction book.
And that worked for you?
Yeah.
I'm not really a fantasy fan, but I just like this book because of the fantasy and the realism.
Sounds like a good time to talk to our author. Do you guys have any questions for Marie Arnold?
Is this something from your life or is this just something that you created?
The Year I Flew Away is loosely based on my life because I was born in Haiti and I grew up in Brooklyn. So I did the whole, coming to America thing. And so it has a grain of being autobiographical and with a hint of surrealism magic. Let's just say that she's braver than I am. but it is based loosely on my upbringing.
Did you have different alternative endings, basically? That's what I mean.
No, Gabrielle came with her own ending. She would not let me change. She's most of my characters are like that. They're like, this is how it ends. And you could be like, but I don't, this is what I said. What did I say? So they're very bossy. So they come with their own ending. I'm learning it as you're learning it as the reader. Because most of the time I have no idea how it's going to end. So no alternative ending.
And do you have any pets? If so, what type?
Yeah, I don't have any pets. I'm afraid of basically all animals. Like, I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm not sure they like me. So, and I'm a little weary of anything that has more legs than me because I feel like it's an unfair advantage. So, but I love nature shows about animals. I just would not necessarily, have one in the house.
This is a little off topic, but do you like Sonic or Mario better?
Okay, first of all, that is not a question because it is 100,000% Mario. Mario is the best video game that has ever existed, even though I have yet to finish the game and it's been like 15 years. It is the best game ever. Although I'm really tired of the princess getting herself kidnapped because at one point I'm like, you should figure out your own situation. But Mario is fantastic.
All right, now I'm going to ask the hardest question on planet Earth, which is what is your very favorite book and why do you love it?
I would say Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comics, like I mentioned before. I play some of the Sonic games, and I didn't know there were Sonic comics until like a few months ago. So I decided to start reading all of them, and they're good.
Well, how do they compare with the game? I mean, it's hard to imagine. It's like saying that apples are the same as potatoes. They're both things you eat, but they're very, very different.
It puts like new foes and that sort of stuff, and they're probably from an old game, or they're just comic exclusive, so they're not going to be in the game at all. So they're never in the game. It's comic exclusive.
Yeah, so it's new elements that they're adding to it. Mm-hmm. All right, favorite book.
My favorite book is Love Like Sky. It's basically of a girl named Sky, and she have a blended family because her mother and her real father got divorced, and so it was hard for her to have a relationship with her stepfather and with her stepsister. I like it because it's very hard to know someone, another person, and we don't have to like them, but you want to get to know them better since your mother is with them and you really care for your mother and you want really happiness for her. So you have to do whatever is possible to have your mother and for you to be happy.
My favorite series of books is Wings of Fire. It's about dragons. Every 5 books, there's a new prophecy. They have mind reading and prophecy making dragons. I like it because I like animals, and dragons are awesome mythical beasts.
Well, Marie Arnold, what is your favorite book?
Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I love that book because English is not my first language. So when I came here, I did ESL, and they, teach you how to, speak English kind of slowly, like the ball is red. What color is the ball? That kind of stuff. But when I got to that book, I totally got it. I knew what the boy wanted. I understood his issues and how he just wanted one good day. So I feel like I've been that boy and I'm just trying to get the perfect one good day. And I find myself having to remind myself that everybody has bad days, even in Australia or even in Alaska, as the book says. So it's my favorite book of all time. Really, it really is. Because I love the message, and she didn't try to sugarcoat it like, no, it's not bad. It's like, yeah, it's kind of bad and sucky, but that's okay, because there'll be other days.
Got a favorite book, Barry Cutler?
Well, I do have favorite books, both fiction and nonfiction. I find it impossible to say one book is my favorite. One of my favorite books, which I first read in my late teens or early 20s, and which became a great influence on my tastes in literature and the other arts, as well as on my own writing, is Beautiful Losers by the Canadian songwriter, poet, and novelist Leonard Cohen. It is funny, poetic, political, absurd, chaotic, tragic, sexy, historical, hallucinogenic, and so much more. It grabbed me, educated and entertained me, and enhanced my life. It was and is a transformative book.
We'll have a list of everybody's favorite book at our website, bookclubforkids.org, on our Books We Love page. And if you have a favorite book, you can be on the Book Club for Kids podcast too. Just record yourself on your smartphone, telling us your first name, the city where you live, the name of your favorite book, and why you love it. And email the voice memo to me at kitty@bookclubforkids.org. We would love to hear from you. Oh, and you can even send us a picture of you and your favorite book. Thanks this week to producer Chad Francis. Brandon Baker composed our theme with additional music from Andrew Walton. Emma Steinkellner designed our logo. Thanks to our writer Marie Arnold and our celebrity reader, actor Barry Cutler. And thanks to our readers this week, Charlie, Dellis, and Roberto, and their teacher Brittany Locker at Jefferson Academy in Washington, D.C. We have a free newsletter for teachers, parents, and librarians full of free tips about how to turn kids into lifelong readers. It comes out every other week, and you can sign up at our website, bookclubforkids.org. And do tell a teacher or librarian about Book Club for Kids. It's a great alternative to screen time, and it's an opportunity for young students to become podcast stars. And by the way, the makers of Book Club for Kids have created a very different podcast, a mystery about the 10-year-old daughter of a congressman who solves mysteries on Capitol Hill and teaches civics along the way. It's called The Fina Mendoza Mysteries, and it's available now for free wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Kitty Felde. Thanks again for listening.